Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Well, we're getting more projects done. I'm still working on the what is he? Lord of Plagues. Lord of Plagues. Anyway, we're gonna work on him some more because again, we're all stuck indoors, and well, not stuck indoors. I mean, you can go out for a walk, or you're not entirely trapped. You just got to make sure you keep your distances from other people, and take appropriate cautions. Wash your hands and all that other stuff we've been bombarded with lately. And yeah, and shut up. Phone's talking to me. So we're gonna continue on, and yeah. So like I said, we're working on. Shut up. Working on Lord of Plagues. Continue on. I think. See how like the axe head looks a little bland. I mean, we introduced some darker tones, and we had a bit of fun there. But I think I have to push it back a little bit further, and so I am thinking. I'm knocking into all sorts of stuff here. I am thinking I am going to play with some. No, I was thinking Basilicum Gray would be kind of fun, but Levidon Blue would actually be kind of fun. I'm thinking of Kellyan Green. I want to play a little bit with some blue-green. I'm going to thin it down. I want to apply a few light glazes, and we're just going to kind of push a true metallic sort of vibe onto this thing, and yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm just checking to see if it's mixed. See, I always hold the bottle up and then let the light pass through, and if I can see the bubbles, then I know I've shook it enough. But if I don't see bubbles, then I haven't shook it enough. I got another light on my other side over here. Oh, I need my headgear. That's what I need. My headgear for poor old Chris's eyeballs, his old eyes. So, put this thing on my skull. There we go. All right, we good? No, we're not good. Need this more on my forehead. There we go. Now we're good. Thankfully, my head has got lots of creases on it that I can actually wear this sort of thing. There we go. How are we doing? Yeah. Still need my glasses, though. So, we're just going to jump right into it. We're just going to continue on. And I'm just going to paint. I need my paint rag. Got my mixing water. Got my paints. I think we're ready to go. So let's just jump right into it today. And I'm just going to paint. That's all I'm doing. Nothing exciting. Nothing terribly fun. I'm just a painting. So like I said, I'm going to use some Kellyan Green. And I will use some Contrast Eau Medium. You can see like little speckles all over it. That's from me doing that blood technique and flecking blood everywhere. So, yeah. All right, let me make sure here I'm all set up. Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah, see how like in person the blade doesn't look horrible, but there's not enough definition like going on. So I want to push some darker tones back towards this way, and I think on this facet of the blade I want to push some darker tones up towards that edge. If need be, it will redefine some of that. We're going to be somewhat careful as we work around, the corrosion on the axe head. This facet of the blade, I think I'll push the tone this way, maybe that way. And on this side here, I'll probably push it probably upwards as well. I think I'll push all the darker tones up to the high points. Pretty much. But yeah. That's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. So, let's grab some Kellyan Green. Because it's a Kellyan. Achelian? I don't know. What is that word? Acalian? It's the fish dudes, isn't it? It's the fish dudes. Speaking of fish dudes, I still have these guys to finish up. I have a real fun idea for these guys. I've probably mentioned it before, so I won't bother mentioning it now. Wait, headgear. Grab a little bit, slap it onto my palette. Close that up. I am thinking, I'm pretty sure I've got a few more of these bottles kicking around. I'm thinking that I may transfer, I might pick up another bottle of this and transfer it to Dropper, just because it kind of slows down my process that, you know, grabbing little dollops like this and slapping it onto my palette, and yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. Just a quick little mix. We're not going to be too concerned. Now, there is quite a bit of blue comes back from it. And if I do a couple layers and I don't care for it, I might switch to a more of a green tone. And maybe do a combination of the blue-green. So just grab a little bit onto our palette. Kick in my magnifiers. And make sure I'm in frame-ish. Yep. So all I'm looking to do is just tint this surface. Now the thing is, with these contrast colors, is they typically dry with more of a matte finish. So that will kill some of the shine from the metals. But that's okay. So all I'm trying to do is just be very deliberate where I'm applying this. Pushing it up towards this edge. Need a little bit more. I've thinned it way down because it just makes it easier to move onto the surface. Almost like overbrushing. I'm just using a very, very light hand as I apply this. Try not to let it fall into any of the recesses in here. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. This whole 2-hour episode, I'm just going to do just this. Just glazing the crap out of this. I'm kidding, by the way. Yeah, I'm already mostly okay with where we're going with it. I'm thinking I might come in. I don't know. See, the thing is that because we have those really warm brown tones going on, that it might be more fun to let the blue play. Just because, you know, the copper and the browns all have kind of an orange quality to them that, you know, it should play quite nicely with the blue. But let's carry on. Make sure there we go. Yeah, it's a little bit heavy, but that's okay. No, that's too much. See, when I'm doing this, I typically don't want any kind of pooling going on that surface. This side, we're going to push it. Let's push it up this way. Yeah, sort of like that. Little something like that. That's all right. On this side of the blade, we're just going to be really, heavy with it. I'm not too worried about the underside of the blade. So I'm just going to push a bunch of the color this way. And let's, we'll do the same thing on this side as well. We'll push it up towards this side of the facet of the blade. Still some wet spots there. So, come back to this side again. All we're looking to do is create just a little bit of a gradient. Just to push the contrast just a little bit more. When you're doing this kind of stuff too, try to fight your urge to work the paint really heavily. You know, trying to really push those darker tones and trying to get it all in one shot. You gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. Oh, shit. I didn't see the comments here. Nighters95. Hey, Chris. Hey, Nighters. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Gotta love the Lord of Plagues. I do loves me some Lord of Plagues. Of Plaques. Lord of Plaque. Gotta watch out for that gingivitis. See, I really like these contrast paints in this kind of capacity. For just shifting hue and for shifting color on a surface without, too much interference. This is where I really, really like the contrast paints in this kind of capacity. Especially if you are comfortable with glazing. This stuff's a lot of fun to play with like this. And in fact, if you are interested in glazing, this is actually a fun way of kind of wrapping your head around, glazing in this way. If you've never really done it. Just because the colors are thin, they're transparencies, so they're actually very forgiving. For the most part. I mean, if you lay a heavy amount down, yeah, you're going to mess up your paint job. But if you're very deliberate, you can get there. I'm just kind of mirroring what I did on the other side of the blade. I'm not too concerned on this side of the blade, but I'm just, going through the motions pretty much. It's still taking on a bit of a shine too. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I almost want to push it further. The tendency is to push it as far as you can. You can see on my bristles how, they're fairly swollen with the paint, but we're trying to be pretty careful on how we're applying it. Okay. Yeah, I might actually come in with another color just to push this just a little deeper. I am kind of digging where we're heading with this. If I go quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. I'm thinking really hard. Yeah, that's more fun. Right? We're having fun? That's fun. Fun is fun. I think I'm going to come in with another green though. I like how we're getting this blue-green going on, and it does play kind of fun with the blade. Yeah. It is fun, but we can have more fun. But the question is, will we ruin it? Yeah, see, like on the back there, there's just a little too much blue I'm seeing. So I think there's a lot of silver in this area, and so it's really showing up that blue. Whereas on the main facets of the face, where we had used like the darker tones, you know, it doesn't read quite as heavy blue like that, right? So, yeah. But so far, I'm okay with that. Yeah, we're going to push it a little further. We're going to throw a nice dark green into that. Let's go with Orc Flesh. No. Creed Camo. What is that? It's kind of a brown green, isn't it? This might actually be a bit of fun. This might be fun. Give it a quick shake. Nope, needs to be mixed more. Always no matter what your paints are, always shake them really good. Yeah, Creed Camo might be fun. It's got a nice deep green. It's not. Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of close to what I'm thinking. I don't know. What other greens are there? Warp Lightning? No. Dark Angel's Green? Ooh, Dark Angel's Green. Dark Angel's Green though. Yeah, see, you gotta make sure you shake this stuff really good, right? You see how that sediment builds up? Always make sure you shake your paints really good. Let's have a look at Dark Angel's Green. Maybe Dark Angel's Green is the color I'm looking for. Maybe. Just maybe. Here. Some ASMR for everybody. And that way, you know, anybody who's just listening doesn't think anything weird's going on. I mean, other than the usual weirdness, but... We're getting there. Is it all breaking up now? Yes. I hear you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Watching me shake paint. I know, it's terribly interesting. It's exciting stuff, I know. These are exciting times we live in. We're all stuck indoors. And I'm sitting here shaking paint. Almost there. See, I'm a real stickler for this kind of stuff, so I make sure I shake it until all that sediment is gone. Actually working up a sweat now. From shaking paint. Yes, I know. There we go. Holy carmoles. And is this the color we're looking for? Watch this not even be the color I want. Come on. I think it is. I think this is the color I'm looking for. These are the droids I'm looking for. You know what? I'm going to try Creed Camo. I want to use Creed Camo. Just because Creed Camo, if the color plays out like how I think it will, it has the green-brown qualities that I'm after, which fit in well with, you know, the Nurgle theme and everything. It's the only reason I'm going with it. Grabbing a fairly generous amount onto my palette. Actually, that's a little too much, but whatever. We grab some contrast medium. Fairly generous amount. And maybe a little bit more generous. Yeah, I think Creed Camo is the direction I want to go with this. I think Dark Angels green would just be a little too dark. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, we can always come in with a little bit of Dark Angels green if this doesn't quite cut it. Now, I've thinned this way down. It is pretty darn thin. Well, it's not really that thin, but it's thin. It's thin enough. So we're just going to push it further into those recesses, those shadows on the blade. And we're kind of going for a non-metallic metal look on metallics, right? So it's kind of what we're doing here. There's a little too much on my brush. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. Grab a little too much there. See, I want to pull that off. There's you can see a little bubble there at the end there, and I put a little too much down. It's okay though. It's okay. Yeah, see, this green here is going to knock this blue right back a bit. Help us get back to green. Get back into green territory. So do it on the underside here. Just a little bit here. Again, we're not trying to apply it too heavily that, you know, it falls into the recesses of the little pock marks and stuff. All we're looking to do is just tint that overall surface. Yeah. Yeah. That's not horrible. It's fun. Maybe a little bit more. I'll push it all the way from over here. See, the hard part, like I said, is, you know, kind of knowing when to stop. And so you kind of have to take a step back every once in a while and have a look at what you've done to know that you don't want to go too far. Oh, too far. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's fun. I'm okay with that. A little bit more there. It is almost tempting to come in and hit it with, you know, something like a black. But I think I may just leave it as such for the moment. Yeah. I think what it is too is I think some of those little pock marks I want to kind of catch, do a little bit of highlighting on some of those pock marks. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Now the other thing as well is the copper. The copper in some points feels a little flat. Like I'm looking like the shin, a little bit on the knees, on the feet. I kind of want to have a little bit more. The shoulder pad I'm still okay with for the most part. Maybe the vambrace. Is it the vambrace? Covers the forearm? I don't remember. Either way, yeah. You still see like a lot of the light plays off that surface still. You see how it's still shiny on the axe head? Which means a lot of that metallic shine, which, you know, when you look at it at arm's length, Yeah, you can still see a lot of that metallic shine still coming through, which is pretty cool. You know, I'm okay with that. But yeah, I want to do something with the copper. Now, we could come in with, I don't know, a deep red brown to shade the copper with. We could go with red. But I think a red brown actually probably more appropriate. An orange, Gorgrunta fur. Gorgrunta fur kind of has a nice reddy tone to it. It actually might be a nice tone for the copper. Let me see here. Yeah, it's got to get shook. It's got to get shook. That sounds like a song. Oh. So hopefully, some of you out there have been working on projects, getting some stuff done. Maybe you've been getting stuff done that isn't even, hobby related. Stuff on the old honey-do list, as it were. Hopefully you're being somewhat productive and, keeping the cabin fever at bay. You know what? I think I like Gorgrunta fur. I will thin it down just a bit. I'm going to use just Lamian medium to thin it down, because I'm not too worried about it falling into recesses. I just want to thin it down a bit. Yeah, you know what? Gorgrunta fur might be my guy. My guy. Let's grab a little bit of Lamian medium. Just a drop. Yeah, we'll give this a shot. This might be what we're looking for. So, I will start off. I'm going to do just the underside of that knee pad, closest to where the edge finishes off. It'll hit some of that corrosion I've created, but I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, we'll just hit this point right here, right where it comes into this corner. It's a little too much. A little too much. Too much. Yeah, let's try to get a little freaking tidying going on there. Okay. Am I still in frame here? Yeah, I'm still in frame. Let's come in this way here. Yeah, you know what? Let's push that shadow this way. Let's push it up. Got a little bit of a tide mark going on here. It's kind of pissing me off, but that's okay. I'll deal with it. I'll live with it. So basically what I'm looking for here is just a little bit of more definition along the edges and the seam lines and stuff. I'm just looking to, create a little bit more shadow. Some of the highlights didn't quite go where I wanted. Again, we can always come in and reestablish some stuff later on. But all I'm doing is I'm just pushing this glaze around. Yeah, I do kind of want to push darker tones there. See, it's a little too much there. Something like that. So you just get a little bit more definition in there. Your slightly warmer coppery tones. Doesn't feel so flat. I think because when I initially laid the this nilic oxide down, because I think that's what I used. And I think when I initially did that, I just laid it a little too heavy. I almost want to lay it on top of that highlight there. I might do that anyway. Might even just completely change the nature of this copper look on this model. That's okay. It's my model. I can do whatever I like to it. Well, that's a little bit more interesting, right? Oh, excuse me. And because we're playing with contrast, because they're transparencies, the metallic shine still shines right through and still gives you that nice metallic-y goodness that we all love. If you like metallics. If you're not into metallics, well then, I feel bad for you. I genuinely do. Yeah. Contrast on top of metallics is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Especially if you're willing to take your time and be very, deliberate about what you're doing. Yeah. It is a lot of fun. And in fact, now that I'm looking at it, we can probably push some of this to Sigor brown. Just a bit. Just for like some panel lining. And just picking out the contrast and stuff. Yeah. Anywho, let's carry on. So on this foot here, I want to push it up towards this way. So we'll just go like so. Yeah, see some of the tone. I think it's that nilic oxide that, throws that off for my eye. Yeah, now I'm overworking it there. Just a bit. We can always come back in though. Reestablish that oxidization. Yeah. Again, if I fall silent, it's because I'm concentrating. Thinking real hard. Yeah, see the foot already looks a little cleaner now, right? Same with the other foot. See, I like the other foot, it just kind of feels abrupt and, kind of messy, really. Whereas this feels a little bit more defined now. A little more contrast in there. Yeah. I am liking that. So, before this little dollop of paint dries out on me, I will hit the vambrace here a bit. I think I'm going to push this oxidization back a bit. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push towards the shape, the little fly icon here. also pull a little bit up towards the elbow joint. Yeah. Yeah. Just a bit. Yeah, and we'll push it real dark up towards the top of the vambrace. I keep calling it a vambrace. Is that the proper term for it? A vambrace? Yeah, just like that. Just create a little bit more separation for the fly icon. As you can see there. A little more contrast in that knee. Yeah. This is fun. I'm having fun. I don't know about you, but I'm having a blast. I have no idea what you're doing at home, but I'm having a freaking blast. Pretty wild times we're in. Push that color further back there. Make that all really solid. Because we can always come in with another metallic paint and fix up some of these edges. But the fun part is that we can push these tones back a bit. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, my little dollop of paint is drying out, but so we were working on that little leg, right? And it's a lot more interesting. What it used to look like was more like that, which is a little pale, kind of undefined, whereas that is visually more interesting, no? The eyeball has kind of little things to look at and do and be. We did a little bit more pushing of that color on the forearm. I'm still tempted if I might play with it on the shoulder pad. I don't know. I might. I just might. Johnny's Chop Shop. Subscribe with Twitch Prime. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Now, because I can't wait, because I am not in a hurry or anything, but where is my browns? We could even use Agrax Earthshade as well. But I think I'm going to go with Sigor Brown. Where's Sigor? That's not Sigor. What is that? That's Sigor. Is there something not quite as dark as Sigor? I thought that's Gorgrunta. Snakebite? No. Snakebite's got a little too much yellow in it. Fire Slayer Flesh might actually be okay too. Oh, excuse me. Argyros Dunes. What's Argyros Dunes? Is that the one with the yellow in it? I think this one has a bit more yellow to it, right? Sorry, I'm looking at the little... See if I can see the bubbles. The boobles. Here, let's see here. If I can get this to happen. Let you guys kind of see what I'm doing here. No, not quite. It's too much light coming that way. See, I got light coming from both directions now, so... No, I think I'm going to use the Sigor Brown. I'm going to use it kind of like black lining. So I'm just going to probably use it right out of the bottle. And just, hit some dark edges. Oh, no, I want to thin it because I want to push a darker tone up towards some point. So it's going to be used very minimally. Let's just say that. And yeah, kids, I'm making this up as I go. I don't know. Already at an arm's length, though, I'm liking how that leg looks now here. That nice, deep, coppery kind of tone. with the little verdigris inside, you know, the recesses and stuff. I likes it. I'm not going to lie, I likes it. So I do want to push the contrast just a bit further. So for that, like I said, we're going to use some Sigmar brown. And I can't tell. I don't remember if this one is you got to really mix it up to make sure, but I can't see. I think you do have to mix this one up pretty good. Oh, jeez. Knocking all my stuff around. Man, I can't tell if it's just strong pigment or if there's sediment. Does anybody know if Sigmar brown gets a lot of sediment? I didn't think it did, but I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Screw it, we'll go. We're moving forward. Yeah, I'm going to thin this down just to a little bit of medium. I'm going to take a drop because I don't think I need that much. I still have a ton of Camel Creed on my palette right now. Just a little drop. And I don't think that's thin enough. I think I want it thinner. Another drop. Yeah, that's where I want it. Yeah. I could see by its viscosity a moment ago that it wasn't thin enough. It was still very heavily pigmented. So, with this color, I'm going to take a little bit onto my brush, just a little bit, and we are going to push some shadows. Make sure I'm in frame here. Here we go. So I'm just going to push it to contrast just a little bit back here. That is still pretty darn dark. Pushing this recess here. Try not to be too heavy about it. Maybe a bit more shadow like that. Maybe a bit more shadow here. Just like so. No, I think I'm okay with the Sigmar brown. It just seemed, initially it seemed a little too dark. I think it is a little bit still a little concentrated, it's a little saturated. I'm looking for it to just kind of tint the surface just a little bit, not too heavily like that. So I'm just using a little bit of the dampness on my brush just to thin the color down just a little bit more. And I'm going to push this side of the knee. Just a little bit. Yeah, see, this is a little bit close to where I want it. You can kind of see there. So let's try it on the foot. Yeah. Just a little bit, not too much. Let's push a little more color on this one side. Because it's a shadowy interior in there. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? This is okay. Oh, mess it all up. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. And fun is fun. Push a little bit more there. Just making that interior of the knee a little darker than the outside. Just a little bit. I want to hit the inside of that, the interior of that shin though. Let's thin this color down just a little bit more. Grab a little more color, let the dampness of the brush thin it down. And we're going to catch the top of the foot here, just a little bit more. Just ever so slightly. And you know what? We will just do it on one side. Maybe a little bit more. Like that. Maybe a bit like that. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with all that. Because, like I said, at arm's length, the metallic shine still shines through the color. Like I'm holding it at arm. Well, you guys can't tell right there, but at arm's length, yeah, that definitely looks better. See here, it's way too flat, right? Here, more visually interesting, right? We're pushing contrast. Oh, excuse me, and you know, we're creating a bit more tone and depth. Yeah, that's fun. So the vambrace. Okay. Grab a little bit of the color. Actually, I'm going to grab a little bit on water. Grab a little bit. Thin it down with a little sploosh of water. Just a little bit. Not much. Because I'm looking for a much more controlled gradient on this detail. Make sure I'm in frame. So let's come in like so. Yeah. Just looking to tint that surface. And that's it. Maybe a little bit more around here. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Because it also helps that little fly detail to jump out from that spot, right? Give that a second to dry. Yeah, I definitely want to come in with that Gore-Grunta fur again. And I think I am going to meddle with that shoulder pad. Because I'm seeing how nice and rich the copper is looking now with just this very subtle oxidization. Whereas on the shoulder pad, it was feeling very subtle. But in comparison to how nice and rich we're building the color here, I kind of want to build the color here as well. At least that's the way it's looking right now. Grab a little bit more Sigor brown. Do we need to mix it? Yeah, screw it. We'll mix it. Just thin it just a little bit more. And we will push it just above that fly bum. The fly's bum. Fly bum. Just like so. Yeah. 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 There's a little outline. Just a little bit. Yeah. Just like that. Just pushing those tones. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely liking that a lot more, though. So, we're definitely going to have to readdress that. Jabba's Left Nut. I haven't been watching Getting Projects Done for a while because of clock changes. Have you been painting the Nurgle model on a Friday? I need to steal all these color schemes. Well, I worked on this guy last Friday. And the videos on how I did like the skin and how I did the copper initially, and yeah, those are all on in the vault. Whereas how I did the axe handle, the axe head, and now that I've been playing around with the copper, these have all been filmed recently. And speaking of which, let's get back. I'm going to do some Gore Grunta. Gore Grunta. Johnny Chop Shop, how is everybody holding up? Being quarantined. Well, I don't know about you, but we're not officially quarantined. We're supposed to maintain social distancing, but not so much a quarantine. Because a quarantine is not the same. We're not in quarantine. People, are talking like we're in a quarantine, but we're not quite in the quarantine yet. It's hard to say. I mean, because right now, you can still go out. Well, at least here in Canada. I don't know about the States, but in Canada, you can still go out. Just go for a walk, what have you, right? You just got to, keep your distance. It's not like we're trapped indoors and, if you venture out, you're going to get arrested or anything like that. Because that's what will happen in a quarantine. You just, get thrown in a pen and, you basically have no rights in a quarantine. All right. So, let's do what I said I wasn't going to do. And let's change the overall values on this shoulder pad. State of Michigan is in a total lockdown. It's quarantine. Is it a quarantine now? Like, can you not leave your house? Will you be arrested? Because that'd be a quarantine. Now, if you're supposed to self-quarantine, that's a different story, because then that's you taking responsibility for what's going on. All right, so we're going to try and avoid a majority of these little pock marks. I'm pushing the deeper tones upwards in a typical non-metallic metal fashion. I'm also letting the slight layer of nilic oxide that's on everything to kind of play with this transparency. And right off the hop, I already like where it's going. I don't know about you, but that looks really freaking cool. I don't know about you, but I like metallic colors. I like playing with metallics. I know a lot of people out there, want to get good at non-metallics. And that's fine. It looks good on camera for photos, for competition type standards. But making really impressive metallic tones is really fun as well. And I am going to push. I'll wait till that's dry. I almost broke one of my own rules. Oh, I said I was going to do the inside of the shin. That's right. Because that's just a little too flat. So we will painstakingly try and address that. Like so. It's kind of fun, really, how the color sits on top of the nilic oxide. Because there is an abundance of nilic oxide on the model. And as soon as it interacts with it, it kind of just knocks it out. It doesn't disappear. Because it'll blend with it visually, but yeah, like here you can see, like there's still the nilic oxide, but the change in value is changing the tone of that pigment there. Anyway, where am I? Where was I? So let's do the foot. The foot. Create a little bit more there. Let's just get the other foot while we're over here as well. Knock some of that tone back. Frame. Push this deeper tone up towards the back of the calf. Like so. Let's go to the top of the calf too, right up behind the knee. Just make that deeper tone. Same thing on the other calf. Try not to overwork it. Yeah, you can even see like the back of the calf to the front of the shin. Like look at the world of difference. It brings that nice rich coppery tone back into it. It's a lot of fun. Fun. Let's go. Yeah, let's go here. Push it up towards the center. Like so. This side of the knee. Like so. Push these tones. Yeah. And see, already it doesn't feel quite as flat anymore. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. In the UK, we are not quite in total quarantine. We can still leave the house once a day at the moment. Yeah. Same with here. You can leave the house. Go for a walk, whatever. Just gotta, maintain some social distancing is all. That is all. Just be smart about it, people. I know it's a lot to ask for in this day and age. People to be smart, to be accountable for their actions. Considering so many people feel so entitled. But that's the world we live in. I'm liking that a whole lot more. Good call on the Gorgrunta. Okay, let's come back to the shoulder pad since it all looks nice and thoroughly dry now. Some deeper tone again. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. I'm liking that just fine. I know nobody asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm going to hit these little fly wings, a little bit more color. There we go. Okay, let's go back to the calves. Oh. Yeah. A little bit more tone. Push these up towards the feet, the ankle. Yeah. It's not horrible. You see already the leg looks a lot better than it did before. Still not quite there yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, I can say, honestly, I am preferring how it all looks right now. I'm just grabbing a bit more of my Sigor brown that's still sitting on my palette. Just thinning it down, just with the dampness of the brush. Trying to stay in frame. There we go. All right. Pushing these deeper tones up the heel of the foot. Get the calf here. Again, if I fall quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. I'm thinking. Yeah. Yeah, that's looking a little bit better, eh? Just a little bit. Yeah. Mostly okay with that so far. Where are we at here? Grim! Back from Burrito Run. Looking good, Chris. Well, thank you. Grim, Lordy. What? Jabba's Left Nut. Police by me yesterday stopped people in the street and quizzed them why they were out and wasn't necessary. One bloke was paying money into the bank. They said they can't wait. Can't that wait? They said can't that wait? Waited for a few weeks. Sure. I mean, you know, everybody's feeling pretty uppity at the moment, right? I mean, again, this is a good time to you know, practice a bit of empathy and you know what other people might be doing because you don't know. So, again, it's kind of a, you know, personal accountability is really kind of key right now. You know, do you need to go out? You know, or is it because you're bored? You know. Just throwing a little bit of Sigor Brown on here. Just punching up some of these little shadows here. I've got too much on my brush. You know, I'm going to hit the interior here. What's the inside of this facet of the shield or the shoulder? Deepen up this shadow. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of tiding here. Paint's a little too heavy. My application of it. I gotta pull that out. I fell into some of the little holes. There we go. Pull that out. There we go. That looks a mess right there. Letting that bed out. There we go. Okay. Oh, I gotta slap some more Sigor Brown down. Sigor. No, let's do another layer of Gore-Grunta because I think we're about that point where we should be starting to lay down a little more Gore-Grunta. No, I guess it's okay for the moment. It's okay. Yeah. So there we are. So far. I said I wasn't going to play with that shoulder pad because I was mostly happy with it. I lied and started playing with it. And I'm actually kind of digging where it's heading. I'm actually kind of digging that. The coppery tone is still there, but we got varying tones going on. You know, the back of the legs and everything now are starting to feel a little more three-dimensional as opposed to kind of flat. We still have to hit some darker tones on this leg here to really bring that color forward. Kind of like what we did on the other leg here. Just to bring that forward a bit. We will. We'll get there. We're going to get there. The axe head, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that still enough? Or do you think it's got to go deeper, darker? Poop, I think it has to go deeper, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it does. I think I'll have to use black on it. I don't want to use black. Anyway. Where am I here? Grim. Oh, my glasses are all messed up now. All right, where are we at? Grim, the only reasons I go out would be to bring my grandmother things, supporting local eateries by getting takeout, and going to get things from the grocery store. Well, I also walk around my home area, but there are people are being smart and keeping the proper distance so we can all enjoy watching the water together. Exactly. That's the social distancing, right? It's just keeping your distance from people, and not gathering into large groups, right? So that's all you got to do, Take some personal accountability for your actions. I don't know. That seems pretty straightforward to me, but, what do I know? What do I know? No, I'm asking, what do I know? Because I don't know. Alright, so I'm taking a little bit more Sigor Brown. I'm going to slap it onto my palette. Throw a little bit of medium into it. Maybe a little bit more. That's probably too much. Yeah, we'll use just Lamy and medium. Damn it, did I take too much again? I think I took too much again. Took too much. Yeah, it's probably a little too much. It's okay, I'll just use the dampness of my brush. Just to thin it down just a little bit more. So basically what I'm talking about, just grabbing, see how much water is sitting on my bristles? And I'll just use that to thin the color down just a little bit more. There's a lot on my palette. You guys can't see my palette, but there's quite a bit of color on there. It's about like an inch square, which is a lot because I don't really need that much of the color, but I'm pushing it. All right, here we go. So all I'm looking to do is just create some nice deep shadows. Some nice dark tone. But the fun part is, because we're working with a transparency, we still get our nice little metallic shine from this. It's too much there. See, it's creeping into the armor plate. It's too much. There we go. Just pull that out. Okay. Do that shin. See, the problem you have sometimes when you really thin a color down is it loses its viscosity. It stops acting like paint. That's why it's often better to use mediums rather than, trying to go with too much water. I'm going to feather that out. Push that color. Just like that. It's all right. There's a little spot here on this armor that kind of annoys me. I want to get rid of it. Interior of that knee. It's making it real dark in there. Maybe just a little bit more in that shoulder pad. Let's go back to the shoulder pad for a second here. Grab a little dollop of paint. Yeah, that's probably where I want it. Draw some excess off. And yeah, just making sure I'm in frame. Yeah, let's push a little deeper tone there. Yeah, just like that. That's all I'm looking for right there. More. Just a little shadow there. A little shadow there. The interior here. And let's see how that plays out. You know what? While we're at it, Van Brace. Keep pushing this color darker and darker here, but it's how's I want it. I'm going to take some pure, well, not pure, but mostly saturated Sigmar brown here. I'm just going to try and build up some more shadow. Don't really want to use black. I just want to stay within the confines of the color itself, right? Playing within the boundaries of the color. Just like that. Just to create some really rich, deep tones inside there. And that's all I'm looking to do. And this part of the knee here. Now the detail's a little soft here, but I am going to push that. Make that really stand out like that. But then the top of the knee needs it as well because it needs separation from the flesh. So we will follow it. A bit like so. Now of course we can always push that back. It's a little too heavy on that knee, but you can always feather it out a slight smidge. Yeah, now I just made a tide mark. Beauty. So take a little bit more of the thinned out Sigmar brown. We'll blend those in, make that knee really dark. Also do the inside of this knee as well. This knee needs it a bit too. It is definitely feeling a lot better now. There's a little bit more dimension going on. Just for gigs, let's use a little Sigor Brown on the axe head itself. I'm going to thin it down. Yeah, that's probably too much water. I should probably be using medium. Screw it, I'm going to use medium. And with this Sigor Brown, what I'm going to do is because I didn't really want to use black to create the shadows, I'm going to use this dark brown to create a deeper tone without pushing too far green or whatever, right? And the brown should actually kind of neutralize some of these tones going on. Just like that. A little too much on my brush. Just like that. I'm seeing it knocks out some of that vibrancy in the color too. So push it about here. But it gives us a nice darker tone. Push these a little further. Like so. Yeah. Because of how many glazes we've done onto that axe, it is really starting to become kind of matte where we've built up these shadowy points. It's not a bad thing, just really kind of noticing it now. Let's grab a little more Sigor Brown. And, yeah, let's continue on here. Wait for those other areas to dry. Oop, Fritz. It's a bit of a stylized approach to doing that highlight or that shadowy point. Basically, see, I kind of just drew a line in there. It's just an aesthetics choice. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm just creating some definition, some actual boundaries of the color. That's it, really. Just creating separation. All this effort I have been putting into this armor and stuff, I kind of want to come back and hit some of the other areas now. Meaning like, shit, that's too much. Yeah, it's already dried on me. It's not too bad. See, I'm not happy with how that knee has gone. That's kind of gone sideways on me. Not happy with it. Not happy. Just not happy. I'm just grabbing a bit of Gore Grunter right now. I had an instance of tide marking going on, and essentially I panicked. Essentially, that's what I did, is I panicked. I'm tempted to actually take some of that copper color. I don't even know what color copper that is. And just thin it down to a glaze and just kind of push some of that shadow back a bit. Well, you know what also too? It's probably because I lost the highlights. Yeah, it's the edges. That's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I'm going to grab those copper tones. Oh shoot, do I still have coffee? I do. Got some cold coffee here. What time are we at here? I don't even know what time we're at. Holy cramoly, hour and a half already? That's how long we've been at this already? Oh my good lord, that's cold. Oh my god. That's awful. Alright. Copper would be Hashut copper, right? Oof, this needs a mix. Oof, look at that. That's been sitting a bit. So some Hashut copper. What's the other one? And Screaming Bell, right? Screaming Bell. I think Screaming Bell is the color I used to base coat the copper. What's this? That's gold. That's gold. That's brass. What's that? That's bronze. What's this? That's pink. That ain't it. I guess, yeah. Is it just the two tones for copper? Are these the only two colors they have for the copper? I will have a look-see. Where is my stirry thing? When my paint is like really has been sitting a while and the pigment is really separated, I just grab one of these GW stir sticks and then I just, give the paint a quick stir. Oh yeah, this really needs it. This is strange. It almost feels like the pigment's gone. I don't know why that would be though. Like the paint feels thin. Like it's been watered down. I don't recall watering this down. So I don't know why this would feel this way. Strange. I guess I could always just go in and, because I think I have some scale 75 coppers. Or is that how the paint's supposed to look? I don't think so. I don't use coppers very often. Let's see here. Let's give this a shake. That's annoying. Things vibrating on my glasses. See, I would prefer to stay within the range of GW colors if I'm going to be, playing with this. But if I got to bust out some scale 75 metallics, I'll do it. Don't think I won't. I'll do it. Oh no, I guess that's the way the paint goes. Yeah. It's a nice coppery tone now. Okay, well anyway, we're going to take this color. We're going to thin it down a little bit. It's already pretty thin to begin with. I'm going to apply a little bit onto my palette. I'm going to use some medium to thin it down to a glaze-like consistency. It already feels like it's a glaze-like consistency. And this is a base color too. Like these are supposed to sit on top of other colors really well. This is making me nervous. I'm nervous. I'm legit nervous. I might end up just having to fight with this color here. I don't know. I think the next thing I gotta look at is getting a paint shaker. Alright. Thinned it down. Now let's build some of this tone up a bit. So we want to push it this way. Yeah, I'm already liking that better now. Yeah. All I'm doing is I'm pushing it towards the darker tones. Just kind of, and it's basically, you know, pulling the color together, but giving us that metallic back again. Because some of the metallic was kind of lost. Some of that Sigmar brown was just a little too heavy. I think because I might have been a little heavy-handed with the nilic oxide when I initially laid it onto the model. I think that's what happened. Yeah, whereas now this feels a little bit better now. Get rid of this really hard horizon line I've got going on. Yeah. Yeah, it's feeling a little bit more akin to that side there. Again, the highlight tones were lost, so I'm going to have to reestablish those. But yeah, that's what it was. Some of that metallic-y goodness was lost. That good metallic-y goodness. Yeah. Because we have it thinned out quite a bit, we've got a lot of wiggle room to where we can push the color. Yeah, I'll definitely have to reestablish those highlights. But it's definitely better than where it was a moment ago. I think that's really it. I just got to reestablish those highlights on those tones. And that'll be pretty good. Interesting. I'm just going to play a little bit with the calves. Some of the metallic is kind of not there. Well, same with the feet. The back of the feet here. Some of the tone is lost. Like so. So yeah, we're just going to come in. That's probably a little too much, but it's okay. Try not to hit the little verdigris. Push some of this tone around. Yeah. I am mostly okay with this. Just want a little bit there. A little bit there. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the inside of that knee there too. That's where I wanted that color. Yeah. We basically pushed all the verdigris back. Basically. We've gone for a very rich copper look now. But that's how those things kind of evolve sometimes, especially when you're just kind of noodling about and, you're just painting, right? You say, I like it kind of a little bit, put some of that saturation back in there and, And I think that's what was going on here. Is I was missing some of that color saturation. Sometimes you can have a plan. Sometimes you just frickin' wing it. All right, grab some hash shut copper. All right, I gotta mix this because this son of a gun is separated. That's medium right there. That's all the medium. Oh, I don't even know if I've ever used this, actually. Or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, let's grab some of this medium out. And, oops. Stop mixing. Stop mixing. Oh, yeah. It's a nice color. It's purdy. It's a purdy copper. Realistically, that's kind of a color we don't really see a lot of. Is the copper, like copper metallics on miniatures. We always get lots of gold, we get lots of silver, but rarely do we ever see, the coppery tones. The reddy brown colors. And copper is such a nice color. I mean, look at that. It's just such a nice color. Anyway. Alright, so some hash shut copper. Fire Drake 18, what's up, Chris? What's up, Fire Drake? Just painting. Just sitting here. It's Friday. Getting projects done. Just been working on stuff. So here's one. Well, all the patrons, you already have access to this stuff. Oh, wait, no. How I did the casing, though, that comes out tomorrow. So, anybody wondering, there you go. Oh, banging stuff. All right, we're going to slap a little bit of this hash shut copper onto our palette. Oh, yeah, it's such a nice color. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's purdy. Again, why aren't we using this color more often? Or maybe I'm not. Maybe everybody else is, and I'm assuming everybody's not using the color when everybody has been. And I'm the only idiot who's not using it. That is very possible. That's very, very, very possible. And in fact, very likely. Oh, excuse me. All right. I'm not thinning it down at all. Just really the slight dampness of the brush, just to thin the color out. As this is a layer paint, they tend to be very thin anyway. And yeah, we're just going to do a little bit of edging just to reestablish some of the points here on the knee and the foot and everything like that. Just like around here, over here, a little bit here. Was there another color I used to highlight this? God dang, it's so long ago that I painted this guy, or initially painted this guy, that I don't even remember what the hell I did. I'm getting a feeling there's another color in here. Because the highlight is pretty darn light on this side. Maybe it added a bit of silver to it? Would that have been something I would do? Does sound like something I would do. Yeah. Right? I mean, as far as a nice rich copper goes. Yeah, I think it was silver. I'm looking on the edge here, and I think I might have threw silver in there. Because on the edge, on the shoulder pad, it's very bright. I'm thinking that's what I might have done. Threw a bit of silver into this. Just to lighten it up. Or maybe I used scale 75 colors. Maybe that's what it is. I know scale 75's got some nice coppery tones. That's also another possibility. I'm just doing a light edging here on surfaces. Just bringing things forward. As one does. Does anybody remember what I did? Anybody who watched these videos initially? Does anybody recall what colors I used? Because I'm drawing a complete blank. A complete blank. Sorry if I'm falling out of frame here. It's because I'm just quickly moving about. Just getting some color down on this. This is re-establishing that coppery tones. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to quickly add a little bit of silver to this just to bring it up a bit. Silver or gold? Let's go with silver. Where's the storm host? Storm host. Storm host. Fire Drake 18 working on Gellerpox 2. Posted a couple pictures on Discord. Cool. Nurgle will be appeased. Yes, hopefully Nurgle will be appeased. Does this need to be mixed? You're freaking right. It needs to be mixed. Damn. See, I often use other metallics, and I don't often use my Citadel metallics. And they sit. And so now, I have to mix. Skycork's bronze is the highlight. Did I use bronze? I didn't use bronze. Skycork's bronze is not that much brighter than Hashut. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, Jabba, but I might be disagreeing with you. I don't know. Is that what I did in the video? I don't even remember what I did in the video. I don't even know how long ago I made this tutorial when I filmed it. I could not tell you. There we go. It's mostly mixed at the moment. Yeah, I have no idea when I even made this tutorial. It's been a while. I mean, this model's been out for a long time, but yeah. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of silver. I'm going to quickly grab the Skycork's bronze. That what I used? It's a little bit lighter, but this is the Skycork's bronze right here. It's a little bit lighter. I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm still skeptical. I'm grabbing some of this Stormhost silver, which is supposed to be the brightest silver that Citadel makes. Let's grab a little bit of this. And this should be realistically, if I'm like measuring paint out, it'd be more like a 1-to-1, but less than a 1-to-1. Less silver, more copper. Yeah, there's a little too much silver here. I grabbed too much. I took too much. Yeah, I want more copper there. I don't want the highlight to be that bright. So a little bit more copper. So yeah, it's going to be more of a mixture of a 2 to 1 than a 1 to 1. Yeah, that's more like what I'm looking for. It still looks like copper. It actually looks... Is there an edge color or a dry? Maybe that's what I used? Anyway. Here, see if I can pull a little bit up for you guys. Kind of see what I'm talking about. It almost looks like fresh copper wiring. You can't really tell in the brush, but anyway. That's what it looks like. Whenever you strip like a copper wire, that's what that looks like. Somebody out there is like, really? A fresh copper wire? Really? Jabba's left nut. I checked on Citadel Paint app, so you're arguing with them. No, but I'm trying to remember what I did. I'm not really concerned with what Citadel says. It's what I did in the video, because I know I filmed this process. Oh, you know what? I need medium. Just gotta get a bit of medium here. Just for flow. Not your ant flow. For the flow of the paint. Let the paint flow. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. Yeah, I like this color, actually. Why I don't use hash-up copper more often, I have no idea. So, really fast, I'm just going to throw a little bit of edging on. Just a little bit. Start right down here. Get this little bit. There we go. That feels a little bit more consistent with how it's going on that side. I think that's what I did. That's a huge guess, but but I think that's what I did. It sounds like something I would do. Again, I could be wrong. And again, not the first time I'd be wrong. Let's catch this edge here. And up here. Let's catch some of the spikes here. Just around the busted metal. Let's bring some attention back to that. Get those bright edges picked up again. Just like so. You know what? Let's get this edge too. Just like that. If you can't see what I'm doing, it's because I'm really into what I'm doing, and I apologize. But that's the way she goes. Sometimes I'm only concerned with what I'm doing. It's not important for you to see what I'm doing. It's important for me to see what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if you can see. It matters if the frickin' horse can see. Yeah. It's kind of fun. Yeah, we're cooking. Of course, now some of those highlights look a little too bright, but a little too broad, I think. Oh, there's always something, I know. There's always something. It's always a constant battle of back and forth. And sometimes it is. Especially when you're kind of just making it up on the go. You're not really, working from a pre-established color scheme or, anything like that. And you're just kind of just making it up. But oftentimes, that's the most fun. Is just making it up. Just, running with your gut, as it were. And just creating. Push that little highlight a little further. Yeah, I probably should have paid attention more to this direction that I was doing before. Oh well. There. Oh, right, on the foot here. On the foot. Just on the foot. I have right foot. I have left foot. And I have 2 feet. What movie? Anybody can tell me what movie that's from? Dan 12222. Hey, how is everyone today? Hey, everyone's doing okay. Okay, we're doing okay. We're surviving. We are surviving. Excuse me. No, I don't have the coronavirus. I am mostly okay with how that looks, and I'm kind of digging now that reestablished brighter edges, because it's giving me a visual contrast between the pale flesh tones and the armor. And yeah, so I'm actually kind of, I think I'm going to pick out that little fly icon on his vambrace. I think I'm going to pick that out a little bit, just edge it a bit, pick out the little legs and the little details. Dan, is this a model for you, or are you doing it for someone else? I am just doing it for me. I started painting this model, I don't know, I honestly don't know how long ago I started painting this model. He's still on a square base, so that should tell you something as far as when I started playing with this model. And it was done for tutorials. The flesh and the armor were done a long time ago. The handle and axe I started doing last week. And this week, I've pretty much just been working on the axe. I was actually pushing some of that contrast back a bit on the axe head. And I was also building up contrast within the copper armor. And I'm kind of happy with where it's at right now. I am kind of happy with where it's at. Oh, right, the fly icon. Completely lost my train of thought here. So, let's grab a little bit... Oop, jeez Louise. I'm kicking stuff now. Let's grab a little bit of paint onto our brush. And let's stay with the kind of metallic vibe of everything. And let's just highlight downwards. Just like so. Get just little eyeballs. Just like that. You see that? Yeah, we can mostly see that. Sorry, I've been staring at the lights. I can hardly see when I look at my screen. catch these legs over here. We'll do these little flags. Catch that eyeball. Catch this little fly wing. Catch this eyeball. Yeah, you know what? That is okay. And I think with that, I will hit that with a little bit of silver. Yeah, just a hair of silver. Dan, are you going to paint any red or green on the edges of the axe? Or have you finished the axe? Red or green on the edges? Well, the axe has a bit of silver. I could reestablish, well, I probably should reestablish some of the silver that runs through right from where the cutting edge facet runs to the main body of the axe head. There should be a little bit brighter tone there. But I don't want to go too bright. It is done in metallics, so if you're looking at if you're looking at this in person, it's quite bright. On camera, it does look a little bit dark. Let's grab just a little bit of silver. Stormhost silver. Away. Alright. Just grab a little bit of the Stormhost silver. No thinner. Nada. And we are going to catch just the legs. We'll do just the high points. Just like so. Catch just the tiniest dot on the eyeball. And this eyeball. Yeah. Catch the high point of this leg. And that leg. Yeah. So we're catching just those high points. Just bring. Oh shoot! I might as well do the wings. Let's do the wings. Yeah, we'll catch this wing right here. Bring it back. This. Am I in frame still? Sort of. This edge right here. Bring that back. Like so. Yeah, okay. That's okay. It brightens it right up, but it's still there. Now, there is this edge right here that kind of bugs me, but I think it's because it's running into the flesh. Do I have any Sigor Brown? Hey, I still have some Sigor Brown. Rah! Amber alert. Whew. So it's an Amber alert right now for Ontario. Oh, travelers returning to Ontario. They're supposed to self-isolate. So don't be a bunch of dummies. Self-isolate, you jackwagons. You jackaloons. Ooh, it's quite thick. Better thin this down a bit. So I'm using a little bit of Sigor Brown. And we're going to push it right into them behind the vambrace there. Just because, yeah, I think that's hitting the flesh there. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's what it is. So I'm probably going to have to come in and clean up the flesh now. Which I was already thinking of doing. I don't want to have too much brown tone going on just because I don't want to create the illusion of, you know, vibrant flesh. I'd rather stay within darker tones for flesh. Like off flesh tones. Not so warm. Sorry, I'm going around the outside of the armor, just building up some of that shadow. Again, creating separation. That's all it is about. It's just creating a bit of separation. Yeah, on the van brace there, yeah, it doesn't, the edge doesn't feel quite as crazy now. We created that separation there, and it doesn't feel quite as ridiculous. Come in a little bit more. Again, push that back. Yeah, we're gonna have to come in with the flesh, I think. I want to brighten up that flesh a bit. Even though some of it is already brought to like kind of a finished standard. Yeah. Yes, I know. Thank you. Sorry, everybody. For everybody who's not in Ontario, we get Amber Alerts. Basically, these government issued notices. Oh, that's too much. They scare the crap out of you in the middle of the night. But they're necessary. Because people have to stay informed. There was a little girl missing. And, I don't know, somebody whined and complained that the Amber Alert disturbed them and woke their kids, even though that the Amber Alert was about somebody's kid gone missing. And it's like, you fucking asshole. Like, just deal with it. You know? Fuck. Oh no, it woke me from my sleep. Too bad. Some kid is kidnapped and scared to death. Could be your fucking kid. And I think you'd want somebody, you know, looking for your kid, you know? Fuck. These fucking people sometimes piss me off. This isn't titled fucking pricks. This piss me off. Yeah, that's what I want to do right there. Am I in frame still? Kind of. I'm pushing some of this brighter copper on top of this high point here, where basically I have just a bit of this separation of color, the shadow points. So I'm just pushing that right there. You can see on the top of the knee. See on the bottom of the knee, it's darker, but on the top of the knee it gets brighter. And so that's all I'm doing is I'm just pushing that brighter coppery tone up there. It's fun playing with metallics and, you know, playing with the non-metallic metal theory and applying it to actual metallics, and you get some very interesting results. And it's definitely something that you know, you definitely should try, you know, in your experimenting with painting and such. I'm going to take a little bit of the Stormhost Silver right now, if it's still wet. It is. And just do a little bit of edging on this axe blade. I don't remember if I went full silver or what, but we're doing it. We're doing it. I'm just going to go just on this tip here. That tip there. That little face. That little face. Yeah. Just a little bit brighter. And then we're going to do just a little bit here, a little bit here. Yeah. And when I stutter the brush, I just tap a few points there. It creates this impression of like kind of like the chipping. See how it looks uneven, you know? And that's, you know, just kind of a quick way of, you know, giving the impression of like chipped edges and, you know, worn corners and things of that nature. Of course, don't overdo it, because then, you know, meaning at that point, but you know. So now this little facet right here needs a little bit of a definition. I don't know if I want to come in with full silver though. I think I want to hit it with... Oh, do I have a silver here? Oh, Ironbreaker. I got Ironbreaker right here. Let's use a little bit of Ironbreaker. It's not quite as heavy duty. Catfish, shotgun beers. Fire Drinker Team found a video quick tip of you painting his flesh. Okay, well that series definitely somewhere in there, because I'm pretty sure it'd probably be like a video before, video after. That's what I was doing. So how I painted that armor, I could not tell you. I don't really recall. Where we've taken the armor though is definitely more fun. Grab a little bit of Ironbreaker. Slap a little bit onto my palette. Now, this is probably going to be pretty saturated anyway, but I don't know. Let's see. It's going to be pretty strong. Let's do the inside facet of this axe head right in here first. Just because this is kind of bugging me. Yeah, like that. Maybe a bit of this. Yeah, just with a little slightly darker silver. And then the face of the blade is kind of right here. So I'm trying to do it with a really light hand. I don't want to apply too much paint down. Kind of like that. That's all I'm looking to do right there. Just on that edge. Just a little bit. It's kind of hard to see like because it's metallic and there's so much light playing on its surface, but yeah, I kind of dig it. I almost want to do the little pock marks. That's another one little thing I want to do. You know what? Don't know. I don't know. What time are we at here? Holy cramoles, we're in overtime right now. I don't know. Because there's a darker green and a lighter green in the pock marks. Do I really want to put a little highlight on the edges of the pock marks on the axe head? You tell me. Should it be done? Ghost Starman Deluxe. The alert is actually saying that there's a serial killer within 20 feet of your house. Watch out, Chris. Yeah, that is entirely possible. But no, it was about people not being assholes and quarantining themselves when they return back to the country. Because there's a whole bunch of people that are coming back to the country because a bunch of people were in Florida, a bunch of people were on trips, what have yous. It was the end of March break. And so, yeah. Just going to come out with just a little bit, just a slight glazing of the silver. Just cleaning up just this blade a little bit. I know a clean Nurgle blade doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's my OCD talking to me. And if he's happily chopping people apart, I gotta believe that his axe blade would be pretty cleanish. Just trying to rough this up a bit. It's a little too clean. Just a little bit of light stippling here just to break that edge up just so it doesn't feel so clean. Just like that. I kind of want to do it just on this little facet right here. You know what? I will. You talked me into it. I'm doing it. We're doing it. Actually, you know what? Let's thin it down just a bit more. So now this is a Ironbreaker metallic glaze. I've thinned it down with a lot of water actually, but let's see here. Yeah, Actually, that's not bad. I'm okay with this. I'm okay. I'm feeling it. Oh, it makes me want to push the color this way too. Kind of just putting a bit of a silver back on top of the color. It's a very thin glaze that I just did there. You can see how some of that silver's really kind of come back. That's all I was looking for. Yeah, I'm happy with that actually. Fire Drink yes. Yes? Well then. I'm glad I already did it. Oh wait, the pockmarking that you're talking about, right? I was like, yes, oh yes. And with that, kiddies, I think we're done. It's already almost 15 minutes over time. So we got the axe head done. We reestablished the armor, brought some more contrast into it. I'm much happier with where the armor is now than what it was. I thought I was okay with it before, but now I'm looking at it and I'm liking where it's at now. The axe head, I feel a lot better about where it's at. And if you're not familiar with where I had it initially, you know, just go back to the beginning of this video and you'll see where it started. But definitely, I'm definitely happy with how this all is looking at the moment. I think maybe next week we'll continue on, especially since we're all in quarantine, and painting a Nurgle model seems to be the way to, I don't know, plead to Nurgle. Plead to grandfather Nurgle, yeah. But anyway, that is it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I want to thank my patrons for their support. Without their support, these videos would not be possible. And I think that's it. That's it? Oh, Grim. Good stuff. Good stuff? Was it good stuff? Yeah. Fire Drink 18, Paint the Plague Away. Yes, that's you know what? That's a better title to this show, I think. Or this episode, anyway. Paint the Plague Away. We can paint it away. Sorry, I'm looking for my paper towels. I got my OCD's kicking in. I got to wipe this headset down. I have to. It's got to be done. Sorry, you guys just have to sit there while I'm doing this. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God. Oh, jeez. I used to keep Lysol wipes in my office all the time. I ran out. And do you think I could find any now? No. Because everybody's panic buying. Everybody panic buys. The gazelle are running. They heard a noise. They heard a snap in the woods. And they're running. Anywho, I'm done. Take care of those brushes. They'll take care of you. I will see you guys next time. Next time? Next time. Sometime. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Oh, I was about to drink my cold coffee. Oh God, no. No, God, no. Oh God. No. God, no. Somebody out there's like, oh, Chris, stop it. Stop.